Finally, we've had a cooler day for the first time in what seems like a long time. How's it going, everybody? I am going to start getting things ready for the Labor Day trip. I got a few things that I have to do, or I would like to do on the camper. First thing is the insulation. Since we aren't putting walls up yet, I gotta put some caulking on them on the rest of these panels so they stop falling, because it's been so hot. Obviously the wood's expanding, contracting, and everything like that. So that's one thing on the list. The other thing is I would like to get at least this cabinet in and functioning. For the most part, the camper is usable. I mean, we used it in Natchez, so. You're all riled up. A few things on the truck that I need to do is I need to figure out why the rear diff is leaking. I need to fix these leaf spring bushings. I have washers on the inside of there, and kind of a no-brainer. It pushed the bushing out because the washers are smaller than the inner diameter of the eyelet on the leaf spring. So I got to make a little spacer puck to recenter those properly and push those bushings back in. I am going to be fixing the transmission leak because it is still pretty bad, and it is definitely the dipstick, because the pan is still dry from when I cleaned it last. And I don't know, but we still have the half doors on, and I have no idea what the weather is going to be like. Might be putting the full doors back on. So the leak in the 9-inch, my first initial thought is that the drain plug that I put in the bottom has come loose, because I mean, it's the bottom side of the diff, so I've definitely rubbed it on some rocks. I have a feeling it's not going to be that simple, and it's not going to be taken care of right now. But if tightening it works, cool. If not, I'm gonna wait until something breaks, so then I can pull the third member and then weld it up, or whatever needs to be done. But you can see it's leaking quite a bit, and I have confirmed that it is not water. It is definitely diff fluid, because my original thoughts were that my skid plate piece that I made maybe got water in here somehow, and then it's like leaking out from a bad weld, but that is not the case. But the whole bottom side of it keeps getting soaked, so that's what I'm curious about. So I got a little spin out of that bolt right there, but I don't think that is necessarily why it's leaking, because it's soaked all around the bottom with some gear fluids. So I think as of now, I'm just gonna make sure that there's fluid in there. Let me go get some fluid. Go back to my stockpile of all the things and stuff that I have back here. Got to get the NASCAR certified stuff, because you know, she's a race car. All right, try to seem like it is, but it's not. So she gets the finest of everything, which is whatever I have. Ooh. Literally whatever I have laying around. And it happens to be Master Pro and NASCAR. Now, to me, gear fluid is gear fluid. Doesn't really matter what the consistency, or I should say the weight of the oil is, because lubrication is lubrication. Now let me see. if I can see the fluid. Yes, I can. All right. Ow. Always hit my head on the D-ring. I'm gonna go ahead and order up the new dipstick tube and seal set. And there's supposed to be a few special ones out there that are supposed to be like leak proof. So I'm gonna go ahead and order it, and I'll let you know when it gets here. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get these, or I should say this cabinet, finished up so we can use it, and then start figuring out what I'm gonna go about doing over here. And I still got to get power in this thing, like an actual power system. Well, I ended up finding some extra caulking laying around, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw some on the panels in the camper and put them back up, and hopefully they stay. Keep the keys in the door so I don't forget where I put them. I didn't use all of this before because this stuff kind of sucks because it's really liquidy. So I guess we'll see. I can't. Yet. Now I just gotta figure out where the rest of these panels came from. Is that already falling? This stuff sucks. Stuff's just not tacky enough, and it just wants to end up falling anyways. See, there it goes. I don't even remember where half these panels go. I made all these a real nice tight fit too, so it's not like they're undersized or anything. And of course I run out right on the last panel that I need to put up right there. So let me go see if I can find some more. When you're out of caulking, but you have 3M sticky spray, you go ahead and use it. Yeah. So far everything is holding. And I ended up spraying some of this stuff on the corner of this. This stuff works way better than caulking. So we will have to wait for it to heat up today, and we will see if any of this falls down again. But I got to air up her tire real quick because it keeps getting low. We got to get new tires on our car soon, probably in the next few weeks, because when she bought the car, it has like snow tires on it, like all season aggressive snow tires, and they wear down way too fast. So we're gonna get some pretty good tires put on our car. So I think I figured out on the rear diff, it is definitely leaking from the bottom down there. So I think I'm gonna have to throw a few more passes of welds because it's not fully sealed up from when I had to drill the hole for that bung. So it's not like a huge deal. I might even be able to throw some JB Weld sealant down there just so I can really push it in the cracks nice. So that'll be a relatively easy fix. I'm gonna get that dipstick tube hopefully before the Browns camp trip for Labor Day, but it probably won't be here for next weekend going to Reeder Pit. And if anybody is watching this video and is around Reeder Pit or Browns camp, none of us have been to either of the places before, and it'd be pretty cool to have someone out there showing us the trails, what the best trails are. We're gonna go there and try to hit as much as we can. I do know Reeder Pit has a lot of buggy lines and a lot of buggy trails, so it'd be pretty cool to be able to have kind of a little bit of a guide out there. But either way, we're gonna figure it out, either a good way or a bad way. So I'm gonna focus a little bit more on the camper and getting a few more little comforts in for the short camping trip for Brown's Camp. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and purchase or try to find more of these little tabs that fall in place. The one thing I am gonna have to figure out, these need to be tied still, but this door doesn't really stay closed. And while we're going down the road, I don't want something to fly out and then it all of a sudden just, you know, fly open and everything falls out. So probably gonna find or figure out another latch system, maybe on the outside where we can lock it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and screw this thing down. We still gotta clean it up and paint it, but I think we can do that in here since there's nothing else laying around. I'm not really worried about getting some paint even on the floors. The floors need to be finalized later on because there's a few pieces that are missing, and it's a camper. I'm not really too worried about it. Just got some screws from the old shelf that I got back there, and I'm gonna go ahead and just throw some screws in this thing and get this thing put in place where it needs to be. Some screws are better than others that I have in this container. Some do not work nearly as well. Got a few screws, 2 up there, and I got 4 down here, and I don't think this thing is going to go anywhere. So now I can clean this up. I do want to sand this, and I do have some high grit sandpaper, but I think that will be done at a later time. Now I need to get more of these inserts, make some shelves, and then make a top for this. Went and got the little inserts, and I got a countertop. This is actually a cutting board countertop. Cut it down to size and had enough left over to put like a little backsplash piece on it. And I got all the inserts set in. I do have to drill a few holes for the front half. A good family friend of mine, Dan, he had some leftover pieces from his old counters in his house because he's redoing everything, and this happened to be a perfect piece for it. I don't have any silicone, so I'll have to go get some clear silicone, but it is Sunday and most of the stores that are close to me are closed, so I'm gonna get that throughout the week on my way home, so I can throw a bead of silicone down, set the countertop down, and then get this silicone in place and get this backsplash set up. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab some boards to make some shelves, and I'm not sure how many we're gonna do because we have all the cast irons and stuff like that, so I might just make a few for now. I'm gonna end up making these shelves out of some leftover plywood that I have. I still have an abundance of stuff left over from building the camper, and still more stuff sitting over here for the walls and stuff later on. But this is just what I'm gonna use for the shelves. Sand it down, make it nice, and have a place to store some of the stuff, because a lot of the stuff we just store in this bin right here. This keeps all of our pans and everything, and a bin's fine, but I would like to be able to actually have everything just set in the camper, because if we're going camping, I mean, everything just should be able to just stay in the camper, and we should just be able to throw it in the bed of the truck and be on our way. But that's about all the time I got for this video. We're gonna pick this back up in the next one and get ready for the Labor Day trip, and we're gonna go have a good time. So the next video you guys see will probably be Reeder Pit. That's gonna be a day run. That's gonna be coming up next weekend. So watch out for that video, and stay tuned for the rest of the camper stuff for Brown's Camp.